Good evening. Hi. I haven't had the opportunity before. I'm Larry Roth, and I'm proudly the president of ICEC. And I thought we were going into the non-medical part of the evening. That's when I get to talk. For the first 4 years of ICEC, we'd be at these meetings at Penn or in New York, and everyone goes around the room talking about where they went to medical school. And my business career has been in the apparel industry. We don't do that when we meet with each other. And Norm would introduce me as the normal. So I'm here to say thank you again to Oni and Mac and Mira and Chica for organizing this. A special thanks, which you'll hear a lot, but well-founded, to Nina Wendling, who really put it all together for us. Thank you. I like to think that 36 hours ago, there was 35 to 40 young oncologists throughout the world that knew, well, they may have known one or two other people, they may have been to a conference with someone and talked to them for 10 minutes. But after this 48 hours, they'll actually know each other and be able to coordinate and work together. And that's, in our view, fairly amazing. So I'd like to thank all of you for coming from afar, coming from Manhattan, coming from Nebraska, coming from California, to this to make it such a great event. Thank you very much. And now I'd like to introduce Norm Coleman, a young man I met about 55 years ago. Take this.
I wasn't born then. I was like -3. So again, this has been a great meeting so far, and there's a lot more to happen. When you look at your program book, first of all, we thank the sponsors. It's in little print, but Pfizer gave us a bunch of money, so I don't have to hide cash from my wife to pay for this, which is really good. She's beginning to figure out why I don't have lunch anymore. So if you look at the book again, there's 3 awards that the ICEC has. And there's the Ellen Lewis Stover Early Career Leader Award that many of our young folks have, and that was for Ellen Stovall, who was the founder of the National Coalition for Cancer Survivorship. As people have heard me say before, here I was in cancer and medicine for a long time, and I sat next to this person in some Senate committee I was on, and I had forgotten what altruism was like. And Ellen Stovall was the epitome of altruism, and we give our early career leaders, they apply for awards and they're awarded, and this is a really great honor. Another award we have is the Rod Million Award. For those in radiation oncology, you probably remember Rod Million as one of the great clinicians of all time. His daughter Lynn Million is a radiation oncologist, and they have a great commitment for Africa. So the Million Award goes to support academic programs and ICEC programs in Africa. Now the third award is the Henry S. and Leah Kaplan Human Rights and Service to Humanity Award. So those of you in cancer, it's sad in some ways how quickly people become in the past. But Henry Kaplan was the one who cured Hodgkin's disease. He was a pioneer in thinking when he was trying to treat Hodgkin's disease, everybody thought it was uncurable, and he was doing palliative treatment, but Kaplan stood up for what he thought was right. He developed total lymphoid radiotherapy, then they had chemotherapy, so he was a pioneer in curing Hodgkin's disease. And his wife, Leah Kaplan, for those of you who remember the tumultuous change of women's rights and things in the 60s and 70s, she was the dean of women at Stanford, and she guided Stanford through this elegant transition to where it did the right thing. In addition to their awards and their careers, they were both epitomes of human rights and human dignity and service to humanity. So we're still close with the Kaplan family, and the Kaplan family and a few have provided some funds for the Henry Kaplan and Leah Kaplan Human Rights Awards. So we have the first 2 grantees, awardees this year, and it fits the words we heard today of humility and of service. And the people who get these won't want to get it because they don't think they deserve it. So if you don't think you deserve it, it's that you actually do deserve it. So the first person who is going to receive it is someone who was actually my mentor and who was a Henry Kaplan mentee, and that's David Pistema, who was at Stanford. When I was there, he was a West Pointer, MD, PhD, nuclear physics. He helped set up the Pion project. He went to Texas to do the Super Collider project. He's a brilliant person, cares for everybody. And what epitomized David when he got here, he had a little armband that said WWDAPD. And that was the integrity motto of Southwestern that stood for what would DAP do. So his integrity is so enormous and his character is so amazing that I know Henry and Leah would be very proud of this, and I know the Kaplan family is proud of this. So David, come up and get the Henry Kaplan Award.
I'm not known for a lot of words, so I will be brief, but this is really a surprise and quite an honor. As I say, Norm and I were both privileged to be at Stanford when Henry Kaplan was right in the middle of the lymphoma clinic, and his wife Leah was somebody to behold. I mean, she had her opinions and guided the women very well. So this is quite an honor. Also, it's just wonderful to be here and part of this. I just have, when I retired almost 4 years ago, Norm said, I have a wonderful job for you. The only downside is I can't pay you, but the rewards are far more than money. So thank you very much, Norm, for this. Good heavens. If this is gold, ICEC is funded for life. So.
Don't worry. Don't worry. We got a good deal on it. Got kind of uncle in the business. So the second awardee, again, epitomizes the Kaplans, and it's about selfless service. And she has done selfless service her entire life. I've never seen anybody who's more connected to the best people around Washington than this awardee. She's served NCCS. If you ever heard of the Ironman triathlon, she's an Ironman triathlete. There's absolutely nothing that Nina Wendling can't take on and can't do in a superb way. Again, she doesn't want to get this, which means she's the perfect awardee. We would not be anywhere close to where we are without you, Nina, and it's an honor to work with you, and I know the Kaplans would be amazingly pleased. And in fact, Bob Spears, one of the Kaplan brother-in-law, is helping us, so we have the Kaplan family brought into this as well, too. So Nina, thank you so much. And
thank you, Norm. Thanks. So the only thing I'm going to say is very short. First, Norm is, I think, a 10 or 11-time Ironman finisher. And so I'm still working to get up to those numbers. But, you know, people sometimes say service is sacrifice, but really I think service is a privilege. And for me to be able to work with some remarkable people, the Ellen Stovall Early Career Leaders who put this together, they are in your program and indicated as such. When we look back at who you all are and what you all are doing, it gives us great hope for the future. So anything we can do to support you, that's our goal. And then lastly, just everybody who came internationally, just thank you very, very much. It's these personal connections, these ties to one another that help us join together to really make a difference. So thank you.
now back to the science program. So, yeah, so thank you.